Honda Amaze. Ever since its launch in April 2013, this car has been a strong seller for the company. And now Honda wants to take the game further away from its rivals by offering you this upgraded version. The car now gets an all-new bumper up ahead, borrowed from the Mobilio RS, along with a new grille as well. The rear of the car gets new tail lamps as well. Overall, it's a design which looks much more stylish as well as attractive from before. So does it have what it takes to be the king of its class? Let's find out. Well, if you thought the exterior of this car was stylish as well as pleasing, once you step inside the cabin, you will be welcomed by this all-new dashboard. And this dashboard really does lift this cabin in a very good way. This car now feels very premium and very posh. And remember, this dashboard and the dials have been borrowed from the Jazz as well as the Honda City, while the automatic climate control unit has been borrowed from the upcoming Honda BR-V. Well, the quality of this dashboard is definitely better than the one it replaces, and the dials also look much more premium. In fact, I will stretch out my neck and say that in terms of overall cabin ambience, it is the Amaze which has the advantage over all the other cars in this segment. Well, so what are the additions inside this car now? You get this automatic climate control, which is a feature which was missing from this car. You also get this new stereo system, which has this USB port. There's no CD player. Well, the cabin is a very practical place to be in. You get these two bottle holders over here. There's one here and one next to it. There's also a tray up ahead where you can keep your wallet or cell phone. And there's one right over here where you can, of course, keep your wallet or your sunglasses. Well, the seats on the Amaze are excellent, and the support for the lower back is very good. And the support for your under thighs is very good as well. And because the seat scob is both long as well as wide, even taller passengers or passengers who are heavily built should not have a problem on those long journeys. Now, not only do you get a lot of goodies on the top end version of this car, but Honda has also added airbags as an option on the base version, and that really goes to show you their commitment towards safer cars for India. Well, it is the backseat department where the Amaze truly does trump all its rivals in this segment, and that's largely because the seats themselves are very good for cushioning as well as support. The backrest angle is excellent, and there's massive amounts of knee room as well as headroom over here. In terms of practicality, you get two cup holders over here, which means that you can keep your favorite fruity beverage on that long journey over here safely. And you also get one bottle holder in the middle over here, and also the door bins are large enough to house these bottles. So overall, very good in terms of space, comfort as well as practicality. Well, even though the Amaze does not offer you rare AC vents like some of its rivals, the throw of air from the vents up ahead is really excellent, and even in this 40-degree heat, the cabin really does cool super fast. Well, what also makes the Amaze more appealing is the fact that it has a very big boot. Now, officially, it's about 400 liters, but what also adds to its space and practicality is the fact that it has a very big aperture and the opening is really wide. And that means that you can throw in those big boxes without any fuss at all. Well, so here I am driving the new Honda Amaze, and Honda hasn't touched either the petrol or the diesel motor on this car. And that's a good thing, because those engines were already very good both for fuel efficiency as well as for drivability. So that's one aspect which remains unchanged. And just to remind you quickly, the diesel motor is very strong in terms of fuel efficiency, delivers a fuel efficiency figure of 25.8 kpl, which is one of the best in this segment. Well, even though the Amaze is clearly aimed at family car buyers, this is a very good car for anyone who seeks driving thrills, and it's good to know that you can, of course, have fun in this car, and that's largely because the steering wheel is very communicative and it really does respond, and it's very accurate as well. Well, what also makes the Amaze a very nice car to drive is the fact that this chassis is very dynamic. Now remember, this car is based on the Brio hatchback, and that car is also a very dynamic and sporty car to drive, and the Amaze truly does promise to put a smile on your face, and a big one at that, every time that you take it out for a spin. Well, no matter which motor is powering it, the gearbox on both the diesel and the petrol engine cars is very good in terms of overall shift pattern as well as its lightness in operation, and also the fact that it's very precise really does make it a very joyous affair to change gears. And in fact, sometimes you will just be changing gears for the heck of it because you will be enjoying it so much. Well, the petrol motor on this car is supreme in terms of overall refinement, and what that means is that when you are, of course, pushing it on the highway and you are doing speeds of about 90 or 100 kph, the cabin is a very quiet and calm place to be in. In fact, it's so calm and quiet that the only noise which is inside the cabin is that from the AC. The best part about the petrol motor, of course, is the fact that it starts responding from very, very low RPMs, and all it takes is about 1200 or 1300 RPM for it to get going. It really feels very responsive, and it really does rev all the way up to its red line of about 6,500 RPM, which really does make it a fantastic motor for anyone who is a keen driver. Well, and what that huge rev band means is that the Amaze's petrol motor is very good in terms of flexibility, but in terms of performance, even the diesel motor is very good, and it starts responding from around 1700, 1800 RPM in the city, which is again very good considering that most other diesels need at least 2000 RPM to get going. So in that sense, that also is a good motor. Well, in terms of overall ride comfort, the suspension on the Amaze is pretty good, and it does soak in the bumps very well when you are driving it in the city. Even on the highway, it does manage to annihilate most of the potholes without minimum fuss, and it does feel very stable as well. It's only the very sharp crevices which manage to enter the cabin, and it is really at slow city speeds that some of the potholes enter the cabin. So overall, the Amaze comes across as a very good all-rounder. It's a good car for keener drivers, it's a good car for people who drive in the city, and it's a good car for anyone who does a lot of distances on the highway. Well, so if I had to describe this car in one word, then that word would be all-rounder. This car really does come across as the total package in the entry compact sedan segment. And why is that? Well, simply because it offers you a plush and comfortable cabin, a long list of features, fuel-efficient engines, as well as the Honda badge up ahead, which means that resale values will be very strong. This is all the entry sedan that you will ever really need. Well, but if you're not convinced about this car and want to have a look at something else, you should also check out our review of the Maruti Suzuki Swift Desire by clicking on this link above, and also check out our review of the Ford Aspire by clicking over here. And as always, don't forget to subscribe by clicking on this link above.